No one could enter the cursed chamber until a human janitor walked in eating a sandwich. Marcus Vega had worked at the Nexus research station for 11 years without incident. He was invisible in the way all janitors are invisible. People moved around him without truly seeing him, their eyes sliding past his mop and bucket, as if he were part of the architecture. This suited Marcus perfectly. He preferred his job to the chaos of the laboratory floors above. But today, everything changed. The cursed chamber sat on level 12, behind reinforced titanium doors that hadn't been opened in 6 months. Every researcher who had attempted entry had been thrown backward by an invisible force, their bodies hurled against the walls with enough velocity to crack bones. Dr. Reeves had lost consciousness for 3 days. The scientist, known only as K, had suffered permanent nerve damage to her left arm. After the 15th incident, the council had declared the chamber off-limits. Whatever existed beyond those doors was hostile to all human consciousness, or so the prevailing theory went. Marcus didn't know this because no one had bothered to brief the janitorial staff. He was munching on a roast beef sandwich when he noticed the access panel near the chamber doors needed cleaning. The mustard from his lunch had somehow found its way onto his uniform. It always did, and he was rubbing it away when his elbow brushed against the door's control mechanism. The titanium doors slid open with a hydraulic hiss. Marcus froze mid-chew, waiting for the invisible force to strike. Nothing happened. He stood there, half-sandwich suspended in one hand, mop in the other, staring into the chamber. It was vast and circular, its walls covered in what appeared to be crystalline structures that pulsed with soft bioluminescent light. In the center floated a geometric shape he had no name for, something between a sphere and an impossible tesseract. Well, Marcus said aloud, taking another bite of his sandwich, I've already broken about 50 protocols. Might as well get a closer look. He walked inside. The crystalline walls seemed to breathe as he approached. The floating shape rotated slowly, its surface reflecting light in colors that shouldn't exist. Marcus felt something wash over him. Not painful, but strange, like memories that weren't his own. He saw civilizations rising and falling, stars being born and dying, and through it all, a profound loneliness. He finished his sandwich. You lonely? He asked the shape. The shape pulsed brighter. The crystalline walls chimed in harmonic frequencies. And somehow Marcus understood. The entity, for that's what it was, had been broadcasting distress signals for centuries. Every researcher who entered had tried to communicate with intellect, with mathematics and quantum theory and advanced neurological interfaces. Their minds had rejected the contact, and the entity had instinctively pushed them away to protect them from neural damage. But Marcus's mind approached the problem differently. He didn't overthink it. He didn't theorize or hypothesize. He simply acknowledged the loneliness with the same simple compassion he showed to everyone on the station, from Nobel Prize winners to the cleaning robots. Yeah, he said, pulling out his thermos of coffee. I get it. Long day for you too, huh? He sat down on the chamber floor and shared his coffee with the entity. Not literally. There was no way for it to consume coffee, but he described it. He talked about his life, his dead wife, his 3 grandchildren who never called. He talked about the satisfaction of making things clean, of bringing order to chaos. Hours later, Dr. Reeves found him there, slumped against the crystalline wall, asleep with an empty thermos beside him. The entity had stopped broadcasting distress signals. Instead, it emitted a single, continuous tone that the instruments registered as contentment. When they tried to pull Marcus out, the doors wouldn't open. Not for anyone except him. He woke up, checked his watch, and said, guess I'm on a night shift now. No one could enter the cursed chamber until a human janitor walked in eating a sandwich. And in that simple act of presence, he solved what 3 centuries of science could not.